was at Westminster, a lot of the modules seemed to shape the career that I'm in. And I did the Gender Education and Identity module, which was in year 3. Specifically, that module helped me to understand this is something that I'm passionate about and give my time to in a career, and it's something that I can see myself doing long term. But not only that, through relationships that I built in that module, I was able to eventually get a job. In terms of content and in terms of learning, happened to be very, very important conceptually, but they also are crucial to being where I am today and being as confident in my job as I am. What I do differently, I'd say looking more into societies and meeting more people. I think those are really important because you might not pursue something there and then, but if you make that contact, if in the back of your head you're thinking, oh, actually 2 years ago or a year ago, I thought that was really interesting, but I just wasn't at that point then. Having those contacts and having access to contacts is very, very important.
For me, one of the biggest things was having a good relationship with my lecturers. Even if I didn't have strong relationships with every single lecturer, just to have that one person, that's more than enough to help you navigate through what you want to do in the future, because it's almost like having a mentor. And the other thing that I did, there was a module in the 3rd year called Criminology, and it's something that I showed interest in, and luckily I got picked for it as well. But that was something I was always able to say, hey, I did this. And sometimes it's quite hard to stand out of the crowd when it comes to something like that. So taking advantage of such a unique opportunity is something that I would say you should do. So even if you don't have access to that specific module that I done, if there's anything else available like that in whatever you're doing, I'd say definitely take that on board.
What do you want to go to work for every day? You kind of have to ask yourself that question. We do have to make money. Money has to be made, unfortunately. But also, you want to be able to wake up every morning and think, I'm going out today doing something that I want to do.
I was extremely anxious about what I would do going into work moving forward. Whatever I go into is what I'm going to be for forever. I'm sure a lot of people feel that way as well. One thing that I can say is that coming out of university, I've probably swerved this way and that way about 50 different times. One thing that I realised while I was at university was that I had a very, very strong interest in psychology. That was the reason why I went into my master's. Be very specific about what you want to move forward with. It was very difficult, and I think if there's one piece of advice I'd say moving forward, don't be scared to switch careers if you have to, because you will eventually come back to your interests.
And I think a lot of students coming towards the end of their degrees have a lot of stress and anxiety surrounding like where to apply to, what you want to do, will you actually get paid enough, is this somewhere that you can have progress in your career. I think applying for jobs can be quite discouraging because you sometimes feel that you are not going to stand out or like you don't have a chance of getting a job. But I think that maybe having all these worries, what I've learned is that most employers actually look for transferable skills. Even if you don't have direct experience with something, or you read through job descriptions showcasing things like critical thinking, problem solving, analytical skills, things that you actually do learn a lot through your degrees, through research and writing assignments, things like that. Try to position yourself, your skills and abilities to apply for the jobs, and don't be discouraged into
Don't be too hard on yourself. Give yourself time that you need. Also, do stay motivated. Don't let anything get you down. We've all experienced rejection, and rejection is very common, and it's something that we just have to deal with. Just take your time. I do believe things will work out, but you just have to just keep motivated.
First thing that I'd say is just make connections. I think sometimes you'll hear that type of advice and be like, okay, I need to make connections, but how? And I think it's a matter of you have to leave an impression. How do you leave an impression? Goes into my next tip, which is show your personality. Don't just sit there and be like scared and timid. I used to be like that, but now it's just about be yourself, be authentic. There's an important person in the room. Don't think to yourself, I can't approach this. Just be bold, be brave, and just speak to whoever that person is. Take advice from your seniors or anyone who has walked your path before you. And the last thing is market yourself.
I think one thing that's like very practical and that you can really easily get access to while you're at university with career service is get your CV and cover letter good, like, and know how to write a good cover letter based on the job description and really get into the skill of doing it. I know it's a very annoying part of doing it for every job application, but it's like very essential. And yeah, networking as you mentioned, and not being afraid to apply for things, even if you think that things that are out of your reach, or maybe that you're underqualified for them, or maybe you don't have the experience. Try to market yourself in a way that you can relate to it, and you never know, maybe you get a yes.